as we await the players here, we'll get the thoughts of Bobby Griffin ahead of this one.
No lie, I've just had a banana in that little break. I'm looking.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the banana skin
right
now, and I wonder. I just
wow.
Sorry.
We've just had
there's a bug in the commentary area.
Massive bug, and I don't mean Bobby. But go on.
Sorry about that. This could be a banana skin for Jonatan Christie. That's where I was going with that before we got interrupted by the world's biggest mayfly or whatever that was. Look, he's a consistent player.
Sorry, who
Christie.
Okay, just to be clear.
He's. We'll talk about a few things in a moment, but I like Popov. If only he had a slightly bigger smash, I feel he would have beaten Alex Lanier in the semi-finals of the Europeans, 21-19 in the third, that was. So close, 2 points away from getting to the final, to facing his brother again. And he was just lacking the big smash. He's such a nice player to watch, and he's been brilliant lately. I think he
has.
Could cause Christie some problems.
First ever meeting between these two pairs.
You'll be serving.
Yeah, it was Christie that won the toss and elected the
tougher end.
The tougher end to start the match. That's interesting. That is what I would do.
Yeah.
Depending on the opponent.
I'd love to.
But if I was in this situation against Popov and I was Christie, that's what I would do as well.
Okay.
But we saw Leon earlier playing Viditsan win the toss and take the better end to start.
Yes.
Again, if I was Leon against Viditsan, I probably would have done that.
Right. So you think the lower ranked player might just want the better start? Is that kind of the thinking?
That's my thinking. Arguably, that's my thinking. I think the...
and the better ranked player might think, well, I'm going to play this conservatively. I know I can take this in 3.
It's a free hit at the first. If you lose the first to pop off, then you're going to finish the match. If you go to 3 on the good side, you back yourself to win the second. You know, you're 4 in the world. You've done it all before, you know. You'd back yourself to win at least a game and then take it to a third if it goes that far. And let's see Jonatan Christie, a 27-year-old who's beaten Jason Tay of Singapore yesterday in 43 minutes. He's a man who's won a lot in his time, an Asian Games champion in 2018 and an Asian champion last year, was silver medalist in 2022. Christo Popov is younger at 23. He was born in the capital of Bulgaria but moved to France as a young boy, and he's playing in his best ever badminton at the moment. The European Games silver medalist in 2023. A former world junior champion, silver medalist as well in 2019. We talked about that against Kunavut. Beat Leyland Shi quite convincingly in just 35 minutes. He's also a former European junior champion. And on the HSBC BWF World Tour, he's won 2 titles, both last year, the German and Hilo Opens. He's really on the up and up, this young man. And Jonatan Christie, for his part, has won 7 titles on the HSBC BWF World Tour. Most notably, his last title was the All England Open last year. This year, he's finished runners-up at the Indonesia Masters. There's his dad. Quite the character. Thomas Senior, what a guy. The whole family are a joy to be around, actually. They're so nice, polite, chatty. As we look at Joshua Ho there from Australia.
Yep, Brian Clewan from Suriname. Saw him earlier as the umpire. Already, Popov has bettered his performance at the last 2 China Opens, where he was eliminated in the opening round. As for
ladies and gentlemen,
Jonatan Christie.
On my right, Jonatan Christie, Indonesia. And on my left, Christo Popov, France. Christo Popov to serve. Level. Play.
Yeah, Christie has reached the semi-finals in the last 2 editions, so looking for at least a hat-trick of those, I'm sure.
He's gone for the flick serve, first point, and caught Christie napping there. Wow.
Wasn't a bad smash.
That was a big smash from the left-hander. Going cross as well.
I think he heard you, Bobby.
Yeah. Does look like he's been working hard in the gym. Christo's looking fit. And he really found some great form in Europe and took it out to Asia throughout that sort of tour period in the spring. In those last 6 events, 4 semi-finals and 1 quarter-final. I mean, that is form. Yeah. That is fantastic. And in Singapore,
beat Yu
beat Pranoy, who's currently winning. Oh, just tied things level with Chatian Chen right now on court 2. Beat Anders Antonsen to get as far as he did in the tournament. That is, you have to be in good form against those opponents at that level of tournament.
1-4.
And let's not forget, this is a man who still plays doubles as well.
They're still in the event, aren't they? They've got doubles today, I think.
Yeah, they won their first round.
The Popov brothers.
They beat the Canadians Lee and Lindemann.
They've got Aaron Shear and So Yik later today on court 1.
Just a small matter of that match. I mean, and then, you know, look at Thomas through to the quarterfinals. I mean, Bobby, right now there's no one else really that comes to mind at this level, at this kind of ranking, that plays both at the moment.
Well, the players that play their level doubles and mixed doubles, there's quite a few of those, of course.
No, but I mean, in terms of playing singles and a doubles,
not at this level.
Yeah, that's amazing.
In all honesty, I never expected them to be able to maintain it and take it to this kind of level and still do that. So you have to take your hat off to that ability. I still feel, my personal opinion, sending Christie the wrong way with that little tiniest of deceptions. We get a replay of this. Watch the forehand here, just the tiniest little deception, very small. Here we go.
Yeah, just leaning.
All he did was move his racket about an inch backwards and then play the nest shot anyway. It was
3-6.
Were you about to say you think they should focus on one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's, what would you rather be? Let's say they do keep it up. They do maintain the doubles and the singles. Let's say they stay inside the top 20 in the world, right? Let's say they both get to the world champs in those disciplines or the Olympic Games. Now, are they good enough to win medals
in either? Yeah,
in either event?
Exactly.
Or are they more likely to be sort of group stages or round of 16 quarterfinalists?
Yeah.
In, let's say, you know, China Open here, right, this week. They're playing 2 events. I'm going to put my sort of, you know, I'm going to wear this hat. If I get this wrong, fair enough. But it's my opinion that neither of them will medal here in either singles or doubles, right?
Right.
If they focus on one or the other,
they get further.
I think they might get further. And what would you rather do? Would you rather win 2 bronze medals in 2 events, obviously, at the Olympic Games, or would you rather win 1 gold? That's the question I think players need to ask themselves and be honest about it. And I think most would say, I'd rather win a gold medal. I'd rather be the best in the world at singles. And if they say doubles, fair enough, but they're both very good singles players.
I think you only have to look at someone like Seo Seung Jae, who's a double world champion and opted to focus on one. And be very, very good at one and consistent at one.
It's a lot easier to play men's doubles and mixed doubles than it is to play at a high level at men's doubles and men's singles.
Correct.
You've got different skills, there's different attributes you need. Surely you can't focus enough time on some of the things that will make a partnership a brilliant partnership. Strategies, those sort of technical abilities at serve, return and third shot.
Right.
if you're playing singles a lot of the time and training for singles, how can you spend enough time practicing for those kind of doubles things for a player, Christie?
To be clear, you feel that they should both forget about the doubles and concentrate on singles. That's what you're saying, right?
I think Thomas Jr., in my humble opinion,
should be doubles.
No. Needs to
singles.
absolutely focus on singles. I don't think he's a top-level doubles player. That's I'm allowed my opinion. That's why I'm here, right?
What about Christo?
Oh, Christo's so talented. In my humble opinion, technically gifted, Christo's better at singles.
Yeah.
And yet, Thomas does as well, if not better, at tournaments than his brother, although Christo's slightly higher ranked at the moment, I think. People will argue different. Thomas, however, has a weapon. He's got the big smash.
Yeah.
Christo couldn't hit through against Lanier in the European Championships, and I watched that. I scrutinised every point of the entire week. And I'm looking at these things, I'm looking at differences. Christo is technically hugely gifted. If I was going to be super critical, his split's too big. He spends too much time in the air, basically, is what I'm saying, between shots. But I'm sure he's aware of that, and you know, you can't change your habits, your instincts, but you watch him sometimes. When you're just about to prepare for a movement, you split both legs, go sideways, and leave the floor slightly, and ideally you want it to be about an inch or as low as possible. He leaves the floor by about 6 inches sometimes. Wow. And that wastes time, wastes energy, and it wastes time. Now, I'm getting very technical here, and I can't be too critical because look at what he's doing out there. He's brilliant.
Leading by 2 against Christie,
If he got quicker in that respect, I think he would improve slightly, and I'm not talking by much, but it would help. And it would save energy, crucially. And the second part is if he had a bigger smash, he would hit through people more often, win matches without going to 3, that kind of thing. If he had his brother's smash, which, of course, partly relies on his brother's height, which he doesn't have, then that would help too.
Sorry, yep.
But Christo's a good doubles player. In my opinion, he's naturally got the instincts for it, and I don't believe Thomas has. That's my humble opinion. For that being said, I think they should both play singles.
Okay,
forget playing doubles.
Okay.
Yeah, which sounds crazy. They just won the European Championship, but there was a lot of injuries from some of the Danish players. Kim and Annas, you know, weren't up there at the time, and I think was it Rasmus Kjær's partners got injured, and all sorts was going on. But still, if you want to play the Euros, play the Euros, play your Continental Championships doubles. But at this level on the World Tour, I think they need to focus.
So Christo Popov leading by 4 at the moment against Jonatan Christie in this first game. Playing well.
Maju mungkin nyusahin, tapi lebih susah pas didorong. Jadi 60-40 tetap dijaga. Sama kalau kadang kalau nerima. Karena kan sesekali teman-teman. Tadi kan beberapa kali lu kasih sininya mulu enak dia. Enak. Lu net balik disodok. Apa? Tempat kita sudut aja. Tapi sebenarnya kayak ini susah. Tetap kayak gini. Jangan kabur. Dia juga enggak enak sebenarnya. Yakin aja terus pakai ini sampai dapat nemunya. Mungkin kok jadi susah matinya dia mikirnya.
Court 1, 20 seconds.
Christo Popov with that Swiss Open final. Got to the semis, as you mentioned, Japan Open and Singapore Open. A quarter-final finish at the Malaysia Masters. He's a relatively recent, also fairly recent, was a second round exit at the Indonesia Open, but otherwise it's been very good this part of the year. He's had 2 early round exits at the All England and Malaysia Opens. But yeah, I think overall he'll be very happy with where this season is going. As for Jonatan Christie, Indonesia Masters, the only final he's been in, semis at the India Open. But a lot of first and second round exits this year.
Yeah, he's made a few finals, hasn't he, since sort of last autumn. But we haven't seen the same kind of form since that All England win last year, which was pretty amazing, by the way, an All Indonesian final, I think it was, if I remember rightly. with Ginting and Christie. But I mean...
Yeah, it was last year.
It's Jonatan Christie. He is hugely consistent. In fact, I had a little question for you. You put me on the spot yesterday.
Oh, did I?
You did, which troubled me greatly. I couldn't sleep last night.
Am I talking about it now? Okay.
No, I just thought I'd get my own back. I thought a little bit of... No, it's, I'm kidding.
Go on then.
It's an interesting little thing I was looking at last night.
All right.
3 players, current top players,
okay,
have spent a pretty incredible amount of time inside the world's top 10 in the rankings.
Okay.
So if I go back 10 years,
they were still there.
2015. We can start at the beginning of the year. First of all, there's layers to this question for you. I'll bring it up now, so one of them might be slightly obvious. But who has spent the majority, as in a larger part of the time, inside the world's top 10 in that period?
For 10 years, up till the start of this year, yeah?
Up till now, to date.
Okay.
To date, so name me 3.
Well, Cho Tien-Chen, but he had a very brief time outside the top 10 last year.
Cho Tien-Chen is 1.
He's playing on court 2 right now. Currently in the top 10. Axelsen. You're not going to tell me Ginting, are you? Who's now trailing by 5. Christie.
15-9.
Really?
Jonatan Christie.
10 years?
No, not. He hasn't been there for 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He, if you were to put them in sort of a ranking order, who has spent the most time?
Cho Tien-Chen.
Is incorrect.
Really?
Yeah.
Axelsen's been there longer.
Axelsen has not left the top 10 since he first got into the top 10 in January 15, 10.5 years ago.
Ah, you're right, because Cho was there from 13 or 14, but then exited last year. Yeah.
Chow came in the same month almost.
Oh, was it?
Or same period as Axelsen, about somewhere around early 2015, but he fell out of the top 10
he did,
for about a year,
yeah.
23 to 24. But the impressive thing for me is he's back in it again for the last almost a year. So
at 35 almost.
So he's spent 9.5 years inside the world's top 10. I mean, that, you know, he's closer to 36 now than he is 35.
Yeah.
January is his birthday. That is incredible.
It is.
For those 2 guys. And Christie, for me, January 19, I think, or 18, got inside the top 10. He's never left.
January, what was that?
So in a way, it's even more impressive than Cho Tien-Chen, although he is a bit younger.
18,
but since he got into the top 10, he's never left it, Christie.
Amazing.
I think that is really impressive.
Given the people that have been around, in and around there.
Exactly, yeah. 6.5 years he's spent now inside the world's top 10.
Well, there's perennial top 10 players in some trouble here.
Service over.
He was trailing by a whopping 9 points.
10-18.
But he'll know just why that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about it all that much, of course. No, we haven't actually talked about it all that much this match, but we've been talking about it for 3 days now. The drift conditions out here. That's lovely. There you go. That's doubles. That was all about doubles prowess.
Yeah.
Get low, drive in the midcourt, look for that space.
A lot of drives going on there. Yeah.
He's filled out a bit, hasn't he, Popov? Christo Popov.
You said
I think he's put on a bit of bulk in the gym, and that's partly, you know, his maturity and age.
That's a lovely shot.
Service over.
But it's giving him a little bit of added advantage, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, Popov's on the much better end. It's going to be a slightly different second game, let's say.
Oh, he's not got it. Has now.
Just.
Service over.
That's a huge 9-point match point, game point, excuse me.
11.
Lead he has. Lovely shot there by Christie, by the way.
Over. 12-20.
See the perspiration coming off these players.
Told you it was warmer today.
Christie's t-shirt is just clung to his skin, and Popov in between points struggling with. That's lovely as well. Well played.
Christie will. He generally tends to change shirts after a game, and he'll be hoping for a change of fortune as well.
Watch the reactions here as well from both players as they leave the court. It's almost unemotional. It's nonplussed. You know, if you're Christo Popov, you've just beaten Jonatan Christie in a game. You might expect a huge, you know,
but we know why.
Business-like.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a job to do. He's trying to do it, and he knows in these conditions, the second game is going to be advantage Christie.
Tapi tetap pas buru-buru drive-nya batas-batasin dulu aja. Ya, dia semakin itu masuk temponya dulu. Sekali kan tadi pelan tiba-tiba letak dia nggak enak kan, jadi kontrol lagi. Emang harus cepat, tapi tetap fokus di kualitas pukulannya. Oh, mau kemana nih, orangnya maju atau buang. Dia fokus di pukulannya dulu. Yakin, coba lagi. Oh, bisa kok, perhatian saya.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Double. Play.
Learning curve for Popov very quickly into game two. Hugely important for the Frenchman to try and find that back line, which is no easy task on this side of the court.
I think we've said repeatedly, haven't we, that it's all very well knowing what is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a whole other thing being able to adapt to it.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about the game, the sport itself. Even the top players. There you go, another example.
Yeah.
When they're playing with the drift behind them, when they're playing with the drift, you might think, great, it's going to come down harder and faster when I hit the smash. You're not going to get the smash. Christie can keep Popov now on the run. He can play lifts and clears aggressively. He can play them flat, which means Popov can't get behind and up behind the shuttle to hit the smash down. He's always going to be hitting shots from the rear court, almost on the back foot. So he's taking it late, he's taking it behind him. Yeah. And also, Christie can push up the court a little bit because Popov is going to struggle to find the back tram lines. Popov can't play an aggressive clear or an aggressive lift easily. He's going to find it difficult to do it.
2-3.
And so he will be tempted not to do it. And that's the challenge. Popov has to control the nets here. And he also needs to just be aggressive. Late decision. Needs to try and get advantage early in the rally and get the attack, and then play with a high pace, speed of movement, and keep a controlled attack going down. That's his best chance here. Yeah, that's good play from Christo Popov.
3-4.
Great net shot. He was so low down below the tape. to play with that quality.
Service over. 5-3.
We talked about
Line judge.
the evergreen Cho Tien-chen.
Line judge.
He is through to the quarterfinals after beating Prannoy on court 2.
Line
Just
judge.
finished that 65-minute.
Is that the opponent for this part of the draw, or is...
Thank you,
I
line
can't
judge.
remember the draw graphic now.
Might be, actually.
I think it is Cho Tien-chen or
Yeah.
Prannoy, wasn't it?
Yes.
So Cho Tien-chen waiting for the winner of this one. Wow. Oh, no.
No, they're playing. He's playing Kunlavut.
That's what it was. We saw that draw earlier, didn't we? So the winner of this match will play Li Chia-hao or
Service over.
Wang Chen-sing.
That's right.
4-5.
Which they might quite fancy, these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Li Chia-hao, who can forget that All England performance getting to the final earlier this year?
Oh, delicately done.
It's the task for Christie is so much easier on that far side. I mean, we don't want to get too predictable or too far ahead of ourselves, but it's going to be a fascinating third, in my opinion. I believe Christie has...
I love how that's... We're going to a third, then.
Yeah, I know.
It's just followed that way, isn't it? Pretty much.
We've seen quite a lot of it this week. I mean, Christie will have to put in a pretty poor performance here to struggle on that far side. He ought to be, with his experience, he ought to be able to control the conditions from that side. But, you know, this is sport. Anything can happen. It might be that Popov finds a way to play well with the drift.
Service over.
Is it oversimplifying, Bobby, to say that the non-Asian players struggle with the drift? The Asian players are the masters at it. Just because generally the drifting conditions are in Asia.
I wouldn't say something so outrageous. You know, I'm glad it was you that said something like that.
It's a question.
Oh, was it a question?
It's not a statement.
Ah, okay. I think training environments are all important, and competition environment. If you grow up in a training hall or a part of the world or a place where you are consistently playing in drifty conditions, then you're going to get more used to it, you're going to get better at it, you're going to get more practice at what to do, hone your skills in those sorts of conditions. You're going to prefer a faster or a slower end, for example. You're going to prefer to start on the faster or slower side because of X, Y, and Z reasons. Arguably, let me just take where I'm from in England, for example. The national headquarters, Milton Keynes, has got almost perfect playing conditions. There's very little drift. There's no distractions or crowd behind the courts or white walls that disguise the shuttle. You know, and so players get used to playing in that environment. And many English players, therefore, will turn up at an arena in a different place of the world where there's massive drift, and suddenly will struggle more there than somebody that's used to playing in that environment. I've heard, for example, junior players in Indonesia are playing in courts and halls and environments around, you know, their local areas, their national centres, whatever, where they have to get used to drift because it is a bigger factor.
Yes.
So if you grow up getting used to playing in drift, you're going to be better at it. I think that's all it is. It's just how much exposure and practice have you got. Yeah, but it's not necessarily specific to Asian players are better at it.
Because most of them will have grown up with air conditioning.
Yeah, there will be more places in Asia where drift is going to be a bigger factor than most places in badminton nations in Europe. I think that's fair.
That was wayward. We go into the interval here with Jonatan Christie enjoying a 4-point lead in the second game. The first was won by Christo Popov.
Няма смисъл. Ма на това удар да го скара в момента. Един флаш пред тебе и просто вкарай го в разиграване. Не мога да решиш парата отдавна. Ма не дай да бързаш да забиваш по линиите. Няма смисъл. Вкараш го в разиграване, той ще се бие сам. Просто се концентрира и не се досви. В момента, в който го избуташ на плоско, той само отскача и играе късно. Стоя на филето, веднага бърз диагонал на мрежата и ще вземеш атаката по-удобна. Разбираш ли? Трудно се играе така. Надигравай се с него на филето и живо просто го вкарай в разиграване. Чуй му.
Court 1, 20 seconds. (11-7). Play. Line judge. 12.
So just to give you a little contrast here, in the first game,
Thank you.
Popov led from start to finish, okay?
12-7.
And it's the same thing here, and that just a little example of how these ends can make such a big difference. I know we've probably gone on about this a lot, but we cannot.
You can't ignore it.
Yeah,
you know. Unfortunately, it's a big factor as to what's affecting. Oi! I thought he was going to make that for a second. Turned his back, dropped his racket, and almost got his back over the net. I mean, it went under the net, but just the fact that he hit the shuttle Popov here. Watch this. It's quite impressive.
And for those of you maybe a bit newer to the sport, what happens in the third game is that they will both get a chance
Service over.
at the good end because they will swap.
8.
And so this is why the toss that Bobby was referring to earlier it makes things very interesting as to who will end the match on the better end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a psychological battle, isn't it, that one? Almost with yourself, because
9-13.
Christie's going to end the match on the better end. He won the coin toss and elected that difficult start and better finish. And so he might be, let's say, 11-7 down at the break in the third, and still have belief that he'll come back to finish, to catch up those points before Popov gets to the finish line and turn it all around.
10-13.
It's all about
Shuttle, Christo.
ensuring that you are not too far away. And Popov could look at it as well. I could set the tone.
This one's not there yet, though.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
He's keeping in almost touching distance of Jonatan Christie here. It's good defense from the Indonesians. Popov is throwing everything at him here. Oh, Popov was late out of that corner for some reason.
That's going to go out.
He
Service over.
lost the plot there.
Can I ask you, are you still feeling these smashes, if they're still not as effective as you'd like them to be?
Service
3
over.
in a row we had from Christo Popov.
14-10.
Yeah, 3 in a row with the drift behind him as well. I mean, we're talking percentages, but he's got such
back on court.
great capabilities, a great all-round game. It's just that other players have a bigger smash than him.
10.
I counted, actually, in the semi-final against Alex Lanier as the Europeans, which finished 21-19 in the third. It was a long, long match, over an hour long. He hit through Lanier. It was either once or twice. I can't remember, but it was either with 2 smashes that were clean winners. Beat Lanier. He couldn't get a racket to them.
Just twice.
Twice. Lanier beat him 5-6 times a game with the big smash. You know, so if you add 5 or 6 winning points per game to Popov's armory, how many games would he then finish earlier than he does? You know.
Oh, nice play. Yeah. This might be one of the longer rallies that stays in.
The bad leave, given the conditions and the circumstances. There have been a couple of points here in the last few minutes. One of them where Popov, that point where he couldn't smash through, and in the end, hey, look at that around the back.
Love it.
He almost gave up the rally earlier with that tricky little net shot he missed, and this one is just a...
Well in, isn't it?
It's well in. In badminton terms, it's well in. Initially, when it comes off the racket, you think it's going to go long, and that's because he's playing into the drift.
Yeah.
Same here, for example. Popov could have taken that earlier, decided to watch it, just in case it's going long.
Again.
There you go. There you go. You need to...
You almost just rather play cautious and just go for it and not risk it.
Absolutely. You know, he's unlikely to hit it long.
Yeah.
Christie, I mean. So Popov needs to just play the shuttle. I think there's an element here of Christie can give this everything and still probably won't win the game. So save some energy, save some effort for the third.
Service over. 11-16.
Good return. Look at that, all that perspiration now on the court. The attendants out there working hard.
I will say as well, by the way, that it has got slightly, to me anyway, and I've been talking about this throughout the morning, it feels a bit cooler in here than it did earlier on. And I don't know whether, there's also more people in there, so I wonder whether they've upped the air conditioning. This is just my pure speculative thoughts on this.
That's a lovely shot. Well played, Christie.
Service over. 17-11.
Another thing about this strong drift is you've got the ability to fire the shuttle deep and hard into the rear corners, as we've discussed, but also that sliced, disguised drop shot will look even more effective. It will get held up against the drift slightly and land shorter in the court.
Bobby, you saw him there. He kind of looked down, looked up at the shuttle. He was in two minds, and he played it. Probably those earlier points where he left it, and he just hesitated there.
Yeah, it's causing Popov all kinds of problems here.
Service over.
Just want to bring this up.
12,
Christie,
18.
after losing the first game, overall throughout his career, only goes on to win about 54% of his matches.
That's still
better than half.
It's still in the plus column.
It
isn't
is.
it?
It is. But you quite generally see the better players of Christie's level get into the 60s and 70s.
But I mean, there's always context to these stats, because
you're right.
Okay, let's say he's top 4, right, and he's always hovering around the top 3 or 4 or 5 in the world.
18.
You'd be playing that level, won't you?
So who's taking him to 3?
Yeah.
That's my question.
That's fair. That's fair.
And so if the very best are taking him to 3, you know, your Axelsons and your Shiyu Chis, for example.
Service over. 19-13.
And of course, it also, this stat is a bit skewed in a hall like this with these conditions. You don't read too much into that as well, given that you know it's almost inevitably going to go to 3.
Yes, there'll be more matches going to 3 this week than there will at your average tournament, or at least a tournament without an end-to-end drift quite as pronounced.
Popov already with more points than Christie got in the first game. That might have been out.
That's a lovely shot that was from Christie. Just a little hold and then turned it up the line.
27
game points for Jonatan Christie.
It's not just the shots and the scoreline that are affected by this drift. It's the confidence of the two. We've talked about how Christo Popov looks so in doubt in some of the rallies. That shot that Jonatan Christie hit up the line a moment ago, it was so confident. The end of the court just gives you that confidence over time. You can sort of do what you like, play how you want. It's almost like a training rally for him. Look at that, for example. Can't do that from this side of the court.
No.
In.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Game.
Fantastic.
Second game won by
Very understated
Jonatan
here, but
Christie.
Jonatan Christie, as you say, very business-like, these two, isn't it? Walking
One
off.
game all.
It's all about the third.
Yeah.
It was before the match started. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, that's why he's not celebrating. He knows the next 10, 15 minutes, he's got to go back to the more difficult side and try and put in a score.
Yeah.
And so you can't help it. That's in your mind. What's happening next?
21-13, Jonatan Christie takes a second.
Terima, maju mundur, lebih capek pasti. Tunggu orang maju, ya, nepel lebih berani. Nggak bisa kayak di sana, buang dorong-dorongnya, mungkin dikurangi. Main aja.
Бързи на сервиза, концентрирай се, готов. Центъра на ракетата е готова. Лопатата пред тебе, като го избуташ, просто повика и виси ракетата. Няма да ти играе бавно в момента, чули? Играеш добре на филата, внимай, концентрирай се да не ти повтори. Това са две-три неща, които трябва да внимаваш и важно си в тайминга. Да не спираш се движиш. Чули?
Quad 1, 20 seconds. Quad 1, 20 seconds. Oh. Jonatan? Final game. Love all. Play.
So this is the all-important third game. And Bobby and I have been, oh dear. Christo Popov was, umpire was just checking on him if he was okay. Seems to be fine. Seems to get something out of his chest. We've seen, sorry, you were about to say something.
Well, only that, yeah, I hope he's okay. I mean, I remember Axelson had to go and throw up at one interval not that long ago. Hoping this was just maybe a clearing the throat kind of situation and not anything like vomiting or anything there from Popov. Hope he's okay.
One love.
You and I have seen a number of singles matches here. We've been playing this game of how many points do you think's going to be good enough? The simple answer is as many as you can get. I know that sounds so obvious, but you know, just thinking back to PV Sindhu against Miyazaki yesterday, and she was what, 11-3?
11-2 or 11-3 up, wasn't she?
And that really did start, because Miyazaki then narrowed that gap, and then she won by 4 in the end, I think.
1-all.
No, didn't she convincingly win in the third in the end? I thought. To me, it's more about breaking through that stone wall of confidence.
Yeah.
If you can get to a point where the scoreline unsettles your opponent enough to make them play differently or not be able to handle the conditions because they panic, that's the challenge. It's not necessarily the score. I think here, Popov could go on the better end, assuming he's even leading at the break for one.
Yeah.
But he could go 11-2 up, and Christie could still win the match. So, in a way, the score is slightly irrelevant.
Do you reckon he could?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, look at the scorelines. So, in half a game, in the first two games, if you took it as flat, you're looking at 11-6 and 11-6-ish.
Yeah.
So we can take some...
right.
We can assume, for example, the score might be 11-6 for Popov, right?
Right.
It probably won't be, because this is sport. Who knows what's going to happen? Everything can change. But if it is 11-6, that even... Oi!
That's just out, yeah.
That evens the playing field. 11-6,
Yeah.
we're looking at neutral ground.
That's
we're
fair.
looking at 20 all on paper, hypothetically, you know,
In
based
theory,
on the information we've got. If he can get better than 11-6, he's more likely to win. If he's worse than 11-6, Christie's.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're just playing a game of hypotheticals, though. Who really knows? I still think
Doesn't like a good hypothetical.
it could be 11-10.
Yeah.
We could still get to 18 all, 19 all, something like that, and then it's just a mental strength game rather than a game of badminton. Who can hold their nerve?
What you certainly don't want is to have Christie have the lead if you're Popov at the break.
That, yeah.
That I think we can pretty much.
That puts the odds firmly in Christie's favour at the better end to finish the match, yeah.
Service over. 3 all. Change.
Yeah, I think the score in this first half at the turnaround is almost more important to Popov than it is to Christie. I think that's probably what I'm trying to say. It's a difficult one to gauge, but you want to be ahead first of all, you know, because you're on the better end in the third.
Psychologically as well, right? Just
yeah,
the advantage that gives
if
you.
You're at 11-8, I think you're starting to worry. If you're at 11-6, you're probably feeling fairly confident. Good net shot.
Also, the better players, having already had a go on this end earlier, will have gleaned, hopefully, enough to mitigate some of that, in theory, again.
Who was it? Was it Alvi Farhan? I can't remember. Somebody was on the worst end and just went all guns blazing, an all-out attack, and kept hitting. Is
that Farhan against Kunava? Is that
maybe it was the day before. Who did we watch on day one? Great net shot from Christo Popov.
Farhan and Kunava played there on day one.
6-3.
That's what you're.
It might have been.
Nidaira against Han Yue was also there.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah, it must have been.
Because he pushed Kunlava.
Yeah, he almost sort of thought, well, it's hard to win. Oh, has he broken the string here, Christie? Oh, no, maybe not.
Oh, he's got that in. Yeah. I know.
Line judge, wipe the court, please.
Sounded odd. It's just hit the slice and it
Service
came off
over.
with an unusual sound. Must have been Alvi Farhan.
6.
Just thought, well, I can't win in a neutral fashion. I can't play the rear corners. And I'm playing against the world #1, the world champion. I'm just going to have to try and take the net, get the smash. And when I hit the smash, I'm going to hit the line. And he went for it, and he did. And for however many points in a row on the bad end, he went up. You know, he took the game by the scruff of the neck. He went for it.
I think he even used that phrase at the time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, let's say these players are back home in training and they're going to spend the next hour on attack. They're going to spend the next hour on spinning the net, getting behind the shuttle, getting up, jump, two-footed jump smash, hitting the line with the smash. That's the session. It might be that the session is in defence, moving sideways, picking up the smash left and right. Whatever that session is, might be what you need to do for the next 10 minutes to win this section of the game. I'm on the bad end, so I'm going to have to play like this. So let's pretend it's a training session. Every time I get the chance, I'm going to look for the opportunity to play a tight spinning net shot, get a high lift, get behind it and hit the smash on the line.
Right.
That's my task now. Forget the rest of the game, forget defense, forget whatever. You know, just try and get yourself into a position where you can do that. That's a tactic, a tactic. It might not be the best tactic, but
that's a way.
That's what Alvi Farhan decided to try and do, and he played this bad end for a while at least, brilliantly.
Meanwhile, Popov here leads by 4, so as of now, this is pretty good for him. This is going according to plan.
Oh, read that well, Popov. He'd switched his feet looking for that straight lift. Good save. Getting these early chances to hit down. He still can't find a way through. Christie, though, quick to the net. See again, textbook play from Popov. Got the attack a couple of times, got the big smash. Can't get the shuttle on the floor enough of the time for me.
Thank you, line judges. Five, 8. Service over. 9-5.
Still leads by 4 here. Christo Popov.
It's another cheap point, wasn't it? But again, Christie's having to. Good backhand. Christie's having to find the back line with difficulty. See, I think we're on neutral ground here. 10-5. 11-5, 11-6, something like that at the break, and
service over.
And I think both players will
6-10.
equally feel as confident as each other going into the final section of the match. That is, of course, if Christie doesn't recover a couple more points here, that will really put him in good position. No.
Well,
he's
got a 5-point lead here, Christo Popov. As you said, that's probably about a par score.
Par.
Just
about. For the course, 11-6, that's what we said, wasn't it? It's going the way the first 2 games had gone, essentially. So we're looking at a thrilling end. Important few points as we come out the gate to restart this one in a few moments. It's really important, but if we might be looking for the first time at a match that is 19 all, 20 all at the end, and then we can all get really excited.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Focus, return to your chair. 11-6. Play.
Well.
12-6.
Now, maximum concentration needed.
Maximum effort from Popov. I think we're going to see him working harder than we saw him in the second game. Every time, every point, scrambling in defence. I think there were a few in the second where he almost let the rally evolve. Almost a little passive at times because it was going to be such hard work to compete. Now he's got no choice. Now he has to. And every point he wins will feel like 2 points. Great work. Both of them in the mid-court. Oh, bit of luck.
You will take that any day of the week right now.
Again, it's like a double win. Look at that. Heartbreaking for Christie. Superb. Again, Popov working terrifically hard in defence to get back on level terms in the rally. Look at that off the floor, that pickup. A lovely disguised drop shot. This is clever play and sheer hard work from Christo Popov. Jonatan Christie's got to keep his nerve here and just stick to the plan.
Line judge, wipe the court, please. Service over. 8.
This is looking good.
14. Thank you, line judges.
So if we say the far side, on average so far in this match, you get 2 points for every one of your opponents.
14.
That'll be fairly close to being true so far, won't it?
Yeah.
So if we say Popov gets the next 5, Christie gets the next 10, that puts us at 19-18, and then things start to get very interesting.
Well, Popov in 20 meetings with top 5 players has beaten 4 of them in the past. The most recent was Anders Antonsen at the Singapore Open.
Yeah, he had a good run that week.
Yeah, he did.
That's
He was
over. 15,
3rd in the world then.
9.
So this will be quite the feather in his cap. I think he's in very good position here.
Oh, good shot.
Really good.
What a recovery shot from Popov. Yeah, see, he can't wind up. He can't get behind it off the floor and hit down hard. He just doesn't get given the chance.
Service over. 10, 15.
And throughout that entire rally, Jonatan Christie's base position was so far further up the court towards the service line than it would normally be. Just squeezing the court dimensions, making it so difficult for Popov. Good rally.
Oh, he's gone wide.
Too wild.
Yeah.
Line judge, wipe the court, please.
Got to stay in control with that attack. He's not, again, he hasn't got the biggest smash anyway.
No.
And against, or with the drift, it's not going to make as much impact anyway, therefore. Christie's base goes back and just absorbs that pressure. I think that controlled attack he was using earlier.
Thank
that
you, line
slice
judge.
drop shot, for example, is a good tactic for Popov here.
Sorry. 11-15. Play.
Popov just correcting the umpire who called the score at 11-5. I think that would be a disaster for Popov. It's Popov this time up the court, putting pressure on the Indonesian. Oh, clever. That is clever.
Nicely done.
Really calm rally from Jonatan Christie.
Change.
Just absorbing all of that hard work of Popov and
12-15.
Coolness under pressure.
Thank you. Players on court.
This is tenterhooks.
12-15.
3 points in front, Popov. Christie's beginning to build some momentum here. 3 points. Excuse me. I get the wrong thing there. Yeah, 3 points.
It is 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a funny old game. When it goes to plan, I mean, we predicted, well, I predicted the outcomes of what was going to happen.
Service over.
Second time that's happened.
You think back to the coin toss.
Yeah.
And if it goes to plan, which it has really, it's the expectation of what we're about to see has come to fruition in my mind.
Yeah.
Christie won this when he won the coin toss, basically.
Right.
I know that sounds too harsh.
But it's not great, is it?
That's not what sport is it?
No, to come on a coin toss. So there's other sports like cricket where a coin toss makes all the difference.
12.
Yeah.
On conditions.
When it goes to plan.
Yeah, when it goes to plan.
Although that first test against India the other day, the England team won the toss and elected to field. And in the end, it turned out to be a brilliant decision. In the end, but everyone
confounded everyone at the time.
For 4 days, everyone was slating Ben Stokes for the crazy decision to bowl. Anyway,
it's good you let that go.
Yeah.
It's a great position here, Popov. Leads by 6, only 3 required. Christie's got a lot to do now.
Well, this is where the whole thing's going to get proven wrong. Christie now with a big enough lead to hopefully, for him anyway, see it through. He's got a great chance, and coin toss or no coin toss,
18-12.
he's getting the business done.
Play.
And I expect a slight nervousness now in the style of Jonatan Christie. Oh, maybe not.
Over.
Aggressive.
13-18.
Oh, he's really got to dig deep here, Christie.
Yeah.
Is it too generalised a statement to say it's Popov's to lose at this point?
Well, these next 2 or 3 points are important. Christie needs 3 out of 4, you know, that kind of score. He needs 3 out of the next 4 rallies. Otherwise, if Popov gets 1 or 2, I think he's gone long.
Ooh, that's worth a challenge.
Christo Popov.
We can't quite see, as you pointed out yesterday, the
out.
top of the net is right in line with the back line. What do you think? You think it's out?
Instinct off the racket and with the drift as well. I think this is a long way out. I reckon this is 6 to 8 inches out. But you're right, it's hard for us to see.
Yeah.
But just the
sliding one, isn't it?
Just as a sort of badminton player and the conditions, I think this is. Oh, it's close. Unbelievable.
Correction in.
Well, I didn't think that at all.
I can't believe. I mean, unbelievable
Service
because
over.
of the circumstances.
19-13.
Now, I think even Popov,
wow,
with the drift in his favour, will be surprised that caught the line. That is a huge result, that 1 point at this stage for Christo Popov. And I can't believe it was in. A shot from Christie.
I mean, he's up against it now. He really is. Backs to the wall.
Over.
I'm, again, just trying to remember, going with the toss. I mean, 14, this is impossible now for us
19.
to give you a definitive answer. But as you said, he followed the plan. That was the plan. That this was.
Oh, I think he made the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would agree with, given the circumstances, who he is, who his opponent is, and the conditions, I would have done the same thing as Christie. However, Popov's play in the third has been special at times. No!
Wow.
That will deflate the spirits of the Frenchman.
Because that would have set up match point.
Well, he had the...
15.
It was there for the
19.
taking. And he got repeated chances to put the rally to bed. That line call a few moments ago, and then that rally missed. Both huge moments, one for each of them. can't get behind the shuttle to hit down hard. He's got to be clever here.
Did he make it over again?
Or he's got to be lucky.
Third time in this game
Service over.
that's happened.
Do you know what? All this chat about
20,
ends, drift,
match
and coin
point,
tosses and
50.
predictability, but we forgot to add in
Jonathan.
Bit of luck.
a bit of luck.
Yeah.
Who gets a bit of luck at the right moment?
Yeah. 5 match points. So this would be a terrific result for Christo Popov.
We saw Chen Tanjie, Toei Wei
Play.
come back with 8 points from game point down earlier. This is match point, and
Wow.
I can't see Jonatan Christie getting away with it. I did say banana skin for Christie.
Oh, what a reaction there from Jonatan Christie.
Good defense.
My goodness. Hanging in.
I just feel like this is Christo Popov's moment today. Oh no! Oh no! What happened? Did that go under the net?
floor. Was that a fault?
It went under the net.
Yes,
Oh,
it
was
went
that- okay.
under the net.
Line judge, wipe the clock,
I
please.
thought he got it back and
Service
Christie didn't
over.
react and it hit him on the head.
Yeah,
This was so
that's what-
strange.
16-20.
Under the net. It did quite well to go under the net and hit his head, though.
Look at his reaction here. This
Did
is
really
so
well
funny.
to do that. Good header.
And it's on the big screen in the arena. Oh dear. We've had some funny moments this week already.
We have.
We had that lovely moment at Ansayam and Michelle Lee at the beginning of the match yesterday when it didn't carry the
lifted-
net and they both had a little smile and a grin.
It's lovely.
We had the sniper headshots in the doubles.
We've had Chen Yufei with the losing the
20.
racket.
Yeah. Right, back to the action. It's
4
still
points.
Yeah, match point, match point. Can Christie hold it together?
No, he can't. And for only the 5th time in his career, he has beaten a top 5 player. The rise and rise of Christo Popov continues. What a great few months he's been having.
That is a serious test
Match
of
won
Christo
by
Popov's
Christo
abilities.
Popov.
He's playing at the China
21-12,
Open.
13,
He's playing
21,
against Christie.
21,
He's playing in this
16.
arena with the drift, and he's come through as the better player. That cements for me where Christo Popov has been going and establishing himself now as a real contender on the World Tour. This was a great performance from the Frenchman.
He's beaten Anthony Ginting, he's beaten Lo Kien Yu, he's beaten Kunlovat Vititsan, Anders Antonsen, and he can now add Jonatan Christie to his scalps. Fantastic performance here, an upset as the Frenchman Christo Popov beats the 4th seed from Indonesia, the world number 4, Jonatan Christie, 21-12, 13-21, 21-16. He's done it in 62 absorbing minutes. Now, is there another upset of the cards? We shall see. Riko Gunji of Japan plays the 2nd seed from China, Wang Ziyi. This is part of the Grand Canal, which is a UNESCO heritage site here in the city of Changzhou. And there are some rare sights here. Christo Popov beating Jonatan Christie in the last game. Will we see another upset on the cards? Women's singles this time. Riko Gunji of Japan plays China's second seed, Wang Jiyi. Looking at this part of the draw, all those quarter-final places up for grabs. We have an all-India tie up top there. And the winner of our match coming up plays one of Sung or Chu from Chinese Taipei, and Chu is on match point as we speak. So they might fancy their chances, Gunji or Wang, for placing in the semi-finals. We shall see. There's been a few upsets in this tournament. Talking of which, my fellow commentator here was staring at his banana skin earlier and called it. Are you looking at your banana skin now?